it just wasn't quite enough.
Pep really showed fight in that, and heartbreaking for him at the end as he falls. Very end of that court period.
And at 141, it's going to be Cole Weaver versus Nate Limmex. And Cole Weaver 13th in the country right now. He is 20-7 headed into this matchup with 6 pins. Now, he lost to Mike Carr of Illinois last time out, who was ranked 12th at the time, and arguably the matchup of the night for Illinois versus Indiana, as Carr was trailing 5-2 entering the third period, and he was able to use a quick takedown with about 2 seconds to go to take the lead and steal a victory away from Weaver.
What an impressive season Weaver has had so far, coming back from 2 injuries earlier in his career.
And his opponent is a redshirt sophomore, Nate Limmex. He is 8-4 on the year. He's 19-12, excuse me, on the year, and 8-4 in overall duels.
Those injuries he suffered, both of them late last season, with an odd injury for a wrestling athlete. He sustained an eye injury against Ohio State's Micah Jordan. It was an orbital fracture in his eye socket, and Coach Goldman called it a freak accident. And he's able to come back from that and really had a great performance this year.
Yeah, he's having an absolutely breakout season for the Hoosiers. Last year was his redshirt sophomore year. He went 11-18 with just 3 pins. Well, he's almost doubled that total this year, as he has 20 wins on the year, looking for his 21st against Nate Limmex, the redshirt sophomore from Ada, Michigan, and Grand Rapids Catholic Central High School. Both guys kind of feeling each other out at this point in the match. It's been mainly a stalemate thus far to start out, kind of like what we saw out of the heavyweights to open up the afternoon.
This matchup is a rematch from the Midlands semifinals. Cole Weaver and Limmex have met before. See now, locked in a stalemate and breaking free now.
Neither guy seems to be giving an inch here, as Weaver and Limmex, I imagine, know each other very well from the last time they met. That's going to end the first period. Still no score, as neither guy really showing his hand so far to the other.
It's a lot different from the first 2 matches we've seen.
Yeah,
both of them all coming out with points early on. Here, staying scoreless at the start of the second.
Yeah, both guys kind of feeling each other out, as Cole Weaver's going to look to get on the board here with a quick escape, as he's going to start from the bottom position. But taking a page out of Garrett Peppel's book is Limmex, as he basically throws his whole body onto Weaver before Weaver can slip out. Weaver's a redshirt junior from Hudson, Michigan, and his 3rd year wrestling for the Hoosiers. And trying to slip out, Weaver's looking to try to stop. He brings up a leg, puts legs in the air, tries to flip around, but good job by Limmex holding it onto his foot and keeping it at his spot. And it's be a 2-point takedown for Cole Weaver, as he's able to get behind Limmex. And now Limmex trying to get to a quick escape, but not letting go is Weaver. He picked him up and slams him to the ground, keeping a foot in bounds, and going to call out of bounds just by a sliver there, as both guys' feet were just teetering on the edge before slipping out to the edge.
This is what we saw Friday night against Illinois, as Cole Weaver came out fired up after the first period and came out with a couple quick points right off the board, and he's doing that right here today.
And it's hopefully for Weaver's sake that it ends a little better than it did, as the quick takedown cost him the victory after he'd been dominating most of the match. Now Limmex trying to get up away out of the grasp of Weaver. Weaver not letting go as he tries to bring him back to the ground. It's going to be an escape for Limmex. He's able to flip around and get back into the stalemate position with Cole Weaver. Both guys teetering near the edge of the ring, but heading back towards the middle.
This is the matchup we talked about earlier on, and it's really living up to the hype here as it's 2-1 in the second. Neither wrestler giving up anything to the other one, as both of them are ranked and a lot riding on this, in addition to the rivalry.
Yeah, this so far has been a really a very competitive matchup to open up here after these first two periods, as the second period starts to wind down with about 13 seconds to go. You're looking for quick bring down as Limmex tries to wedge his arms in there, but after two periods, it's going to be 2-1 in favor of Cole Weaver. Riding time favors Limmex by about 13 seconds. He's going to start in down position to try and get the quick escape to try and knot things up at the start of the third period. But not letting him do that is Weaver, as he's able to grasp around his torso. Limmex trying to break his hands off him, but he's having no luck there as Weaver's grasp is too good, but then he's going to slip out of there as he's able to get one of Weaver's arms off him in time to slip out of there and get back up in the standing position, as now both men are knotted up 2-2 with about 1:39 left to go in the third period. Trying to go for the legs was Limmex there, but no luck against Weaver, as Weaver was ready for it and almost put his face into the ground there. About 1:10 remaining in the third period, still 2-2 all. Riding time is only about a second of riding time in favor of Limmex. That doesn't look to play a factor here as we approach the 1 minute mark. So one of these guys is going to have to get a takedown pretty quickly to try and regain a late lead.
The gym really quiet now, something you wouldn't expect in this matchup, but everyone waiting, anticipating. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Crowd's starting to wake up a little bit. And it's going to be a 2-point takedown for Limmex with 43 seconds left to go. And as you mentioned before, the crowd was very intense, very focused on this match, as they knew just how tight this thing was.
Like you mentioned on Friday night, Weaver fell to a late takedown, and Limmex is able to get one here, and we had to see if he can get a quick escape here to shorten that lead down.
Yeah, Cole Weaver tries to reverse his fortunes from Friday night as he built out an early lead, now trying to reverse that against Limmex. As Limmex brings him to the ground, wrapping his arms completely around Weaver's body. Weaver trying to slip out, but so far to no avail. Although he might slip out right there, Limmex keeping his foot in bounds, but they're going to head out of bounds. 23 seconds left in the third period, and Weaver is going to start from the down position to try and get a quick escape and then try and go for a quick takedown with about 23 seconds left. Weaver almost slipped out of there, but he's able to grab him by the toes as Limmex. Grab him around the waist. At this point, if you're Limmex, you got to try and come down. He brings it down, basically slams him onto his shoulders. About 5 seconds left. If Limmex can keep his grasp here, he's going to win this. And he does. He gets the win over Cole Weaver, a ranked victory for Nate Limmex. And he is your winner, and Cole Weaver has dropped back-to-back matches.
Both of them in the third period, but what a battle that was, coming down to the final period of the matchup.
Yeah, great matchup there as we get Alejandro Raya now